All right, we're going to continue with our final media availability this morning. We've now been joined by Kyle Busch, obviously a local native here to Las Vegas, winner of last night's truck race. Kyle, thanks again for coming in and spending some time with us. We'll go ahead and open for questions for Kyle. And to kick us off, we'll start with Bob and then go to Gluck and to Mark.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Hendrick confirmed that Chase had broken his tibia. You had both your tibia and fibula broken. Granted, it was the right leg, not left. But what do you feel like the challenges are for Chase to come back from that injury?
I mean, it depends on what and where the break was, obviously. If it's mid-leg break and you get a rod and screws, it's not too terrible. It's not that bad. But if it's something more, knee or ankle located, then obviously that's going to be a bigger issue of a joint that needs to move and bend. And so that's the big piece of what's unknown at this time, from my knowledge anyway. So, but if it's just a regular leg break, like I had, then, it's going to be at least 4 weeks, I would think, just based off of, getting a rod and screws and then your bones starting to fuse and getting a little bit of fusion going. That's about the length that it takes in order to get something going. So I'm sure he's in good hands, but I reached out to him last night and this morning to kind of just talk to him a little bit about my experience in it, and be happy to help and talk to him and help him through all the things that I did that helped my recovery be speedy.
Can you give us any insight into what you suggested to him?
No, I just told him, when he gets all settled and everything, give me a call. Like it's a memoir. I'm not going to type it.
All right, Jeff.
For part of that memoir, when you can't force your body to heal as fast as you want it to, and at the same time you're trying to rehab and get back in shape to get in the car. So what's it like when you're trying to work on yourself, but everybody else is out there racing? You're not part of the show on a week-to-week basis. Like, how hard is that on a driver?
Yeah, I mean, it can be tough. Even as good of a support system as I had around me during my injury, there was a time when we were watching the races on Sunday, and you kind of break down and miss that fact of being out there and being in your car and having a chance of going out there to compete. That's what we live for and build on our whole lives to have success. So, Chase is plenty young and I'm sure plenty healthy enough that, it's not going to be anything too crazy to go through, but it's just a situation that he's in at this time. And, anything I can do to kind of help that, more than willing to give him, a bit of advice.
Mark Anderson, AP. Kyle, you got a big ovation when you won in California. What did that mean to you? And do you feel like, or do you sense like maybe the reaction of the fans are changing toward you?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to hear everything just the way that it's kind of gone on this year, with going to the Clash and running well out there and, getting spun but coming back through, having a good finish. All the finishes we've had, all the races that we've run, we've been right up front and we've been fast. So it gives my Legion, Rowdy Nation, a sense of pride to be cheering us on and having an interest in watching again and not dreading watching again. So, that's what makes it fun for me foremost. And then, of course, too, to see adding to that legion of fans and having an opportunity to win here in my hometown, to win last week at California. I'm raced a lot in Nevada, California, Arizona, Utah when I was a kid growing up. So, it's nice to kind of come around these parts and, still score victories. No matter where on the Cup Series, you want to win. Doesn't matter. And so to do that last week at California and to hear the afterwards was really cool. It's awesome to me to hear a little bit of a changing of the guard, which is fun. And hopefully that keeps going.
All right, we're going to go Lee and then Reed. Go ahead, Lee.
Sorry to bug you with this, but I've got a couple of preview questions I need to ask. Phoenix, what do you hope to get out of the test next week with the new short track package?
The practice, the open practice, yeah. I mean, I don't know that you're really going to get out there in a group and set up a simulated race or anything like that. We're all just going to do our normal practice where we roll out together, we spread out a little bit, and we go. So, I don't think we'll really get a chance to foresee what our cars will be like in traffic until we line up for the race and go. But as far as practice goes, just trying to get a feel for, what the pace is going to be, what the feel is. Is it going to be way slower? Is the car going to have a lot less grip? All that sort. So that's kind of the biggest thing that you will set up for.
And are you encouraged by the changes that were made to the car?
Yeah, yes, I would say so. I think that there's a couple different things that I would have done, but I like the direction and the things that they did do. Talking about diffuser strakes, reducing the underbody effects and things like that. I think we tried so hard on that with this car to design that into it, and I think we kind of created another two-headed monster, if you will, with the back of these cars needing to be down as low as they need to be. And last year we had tire issues for a while, and it seemed like the teams kind of got that squared away a little bit, but we're still all battling the same things of trying to get that car as low as you can because the underbody effects are just so huge.
You can prepare for Bristol on dirt, since it's such an anomaly.
No. Matter of fact, we have way too much practice when we go there. 2 hours of practice on a dirt track that deteriorates is genius. So if I could fix that, we would literally just probably have a 5-lap hot lap in groups, and we'd go right into the heat races. That's it.
All right, we'll go Reed and then Gluck. Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. As a follow-up to the previous question, could you feel the energy from the crowd when you won last week, and are you as comfortable wearing a white hat as a black hat?
No, all my stuff's black for a reason. It's fun to always kind of play up with the fans and stuff like that, and my fans especially are awesome. I've got a lot that I wouldn't say I know personally, but whenever you see them at venues or autograph sessions or KBM when we do fan day, all that stuff, like you recognize these folks and you've seen them for 10, 15 years, so it's interesting just to kind of continue to build off of that with new fans, and it's a lot of fun too. So people get a different read on me as I'm getting older and getting wiser and all those great things. Hopefully that doesn't mean I'm slowing down though.
All right, Jeff.
You sounded frustrated with the quality of the racing from the field last night, and I was wondering if you felt like, compared to previous years when you would race in trucks, whether they need to do something different, or if it's noticeably different than when you were it's like say like 10 years ago with whatever they're doing that was frustrating to you.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know if it's just inexperience or what. Obviously it's a learning series, but if you're not learning coming out of ARCA how to not crash, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing well enough. Just a lot of crashes last night. I haven't gone back and rewatched it to kind of see some of the circumstances of some of those, but I would imagine a few of those are probably avoidable. The other thing that's frustrating too is just with the truck series, for as short as stages are, like why are we destroying our stuff in a 30-lap run when we can come back to the pits and recycle with pit stops and things like that, and kind of shake and bake a little bit with how you get in and off pit road. But the only thought I had was to fix that would be, instead of we had a caution 4 laps before a stage break was coming, and then we went green, and then we had a caution for a stage break. Like, why can't we just run, if we want to go 30, 35, 40 laps, whatever it might be, let's just race 40 laps green, and if we go 40 laps green, throw a yellow. You know what I'm saying? Instead of throwing a yellow 4 more laps, throw another yellow because of a stage break. Like, just change it up. So that's I don't think anything's going to happen to that, but that's just been my thought.
All right, we're going to go up front for a question. We'll go to Chris and in with Bob. Go ahead.
Dominic Lavoie, UNLV Rebel Report. Kyle, now that you and your brother Kurt are the winningest brother tandem in NASCAR history after last week at Auto Club, and now that you're back home in Las Vegas, has there been any time to celebrate with friends and family, or is all your focus on this weekend and Brexton's race tonight?
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, we have a small family. It's just Kurt, my mom and dad. My grandmother moved from Vegas back east with us, but she has since passed. So, coming out here, my mom's out here. She's got some friends that she hangs out with. So she kind of does the friends tour, if you will, when she gets back to Vegas. But for myself, One of my buddies that I used to race RC cars with, actually, he got on a road trip last week and went down to Florida for Bike Week this week. So, it's kind of a small knit group that we have here in Vegas. So it'll be fun to just focus on the racing here at the big track, and then also Brexton tonight at the Bull Ring. So excited to get him over there and see what he's got tonight.
All right, Chris.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Kyle, what's your expectations in your Colic racing debut, and do you feel like that you guys got adjusted with the car yesterday after qualifying?
Yeah, for kind of what I felt yesterday, I'm about hoping for a top 10. But, if the adjustments and everything that we did overnight will go the way that we hope they will, I feel like we've got a shot to race in the top 5. So, that I feel like is doable. Last week, Austin had a great run in the car. He was really fast. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run that car. It's sort of the backup car. But I still feel like with RCR chassis and bodies and everything that it's all really close. And so that's not going to be the problem. It's just going to be the main setup of the car is way different than I'm accustomed to feeling in Xfinity. And I haven't done it for a while too, but that's no excuse. So we'll give it everything we got.
All right, Bob.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. As a team owner, do you put any restrictions on your Truck Series drivers as far as what they can do outside the racetrack?
No. I feel like as drivers and humans and whatever, we have to be able to go live life. We can't just be locked up in a room at home and wrapped in bubble wrap. You know what I mean? So I feel like, years ago when I was racing late models and a little bit of dirt cars and stuff like that, Joe would always kind of warn me about, don't get hurt, whatever. Well, then I got hurt in his car, doing something for him. And so I was like, okay, any stipulations you ever had, it's out the window. I have free reign. So it's just a part of it. You never know what's going to happen, but you just deal with it when it comes.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much for spending time with us. Wish you best of luck this weekend. For all the media who are here, the bullpen is officially open. Austin, Michael, and AJ will